1,000-Year-Old Vampire is a tabletop role-playing game for one person, which is what I want to show you today. Where should we begin? That's not the right font. We need a 1,000-Year-Old Vampire kind of font. There we go. Caveat. Who are we? What was going on 1,000 years ago? Ooh, okay. I like this idea. I am starting with... I'm not a history buff, but something that appeals to me is a early England era... I don't know history. This is a problem. We've met our first hurdle. But AD 450? Yeah. So AD 450. That's where we're starting. Son of Boudica. There we go. Boudica never had a son, but it's a different Boudica, so don't worry about it. Born in Wales? That wasn't a thing a couple of thousand years ago. Born in Wales, just for simplicity's sake, born in Wales. I am Gwyneth, son of Boudica, born in Wales in AD 450. And, I guess, something that happened to them, like in the example, is I am a poor knight swindled out of my inheritance. So, I am a warrior who was betrayed by my lord. I don't know if lord is the appropriate word, but we're sticking with it. Create 3 mortals. So, we have invented a Welsh person who is about to become a vampire. We've created their first experience, which is the entirety of their life before they became a vampire. 3 mortals. These mortals will have a relationship with your vampire, relatives, friends, lovers, enemies, mentors, debtors, anything else appropriate for the time and place you have chosen. Lord Brython, leader, which I think is way more compelling than the leader of my village. Lord Brython, an ambitious leader. Boudica, my doting mother. Doting? Alright, so we've got some characters, we've got some mortals that exist within our story. We can use them later. These characters can and should be very important, but will not be around for long. Ha! Because we're going to outlive them. Good. Give your vampire to be 3 skills fitting for their lot in life. Swordsmanship. I think that would be appropriate because we are a warrior. Probably some sort of etiquette. And let's go sailing for, ceremonies and feasts and stuff like that. Ooh, good at feasting. Nah, screw that. Good at feasting. Sorted. So we have 3 appropriate skills for what this person is. Gwyneth is son of Boudica, born in Brython in AD 450. I am a warrior who was betrayed by my lord. The lord being Lord Brython, an ambitious leader. My mother is Boudica, my doting mother, and there's Johan, a bloodthirsty fighter. And we will discover through the prompts our relationship between them. I've kind of already snuck in one thing there. Let's say who was betrayed in battle. So that we can let the prompts do their hard work. I've changed it around a little bit. Oh, 3 resources. That's not a thing I've done yet. What does Gwyneth own? A chariot? Okay. I'm down with chariot, but this can literally be anything. It can be a brooch. It can be huge swathes of land. Vast tracts of land. Roman memorabilia. Yeah, okay. I like that. Create 3 more experiences, with 1 experience being entered into a separate memory. Okay, what happened to Gwyneth? Found out I have a woman's name. Very upset. Each of these experiences should combine 2 of your vampire's traits. So let's put 2 things together. Boudica, my doting mother. I took my mother out. She loved the waves. I'm Gwyneth, and I love my mum. That should definitely be under a different memory, because this first one is captured under the theme of battle. I'm going to combine my chariot and Johan. Johan and I went for a jaunt in the chariot. We ran down our enemy's peasants. I think the just combining two things idea is pretty quick and easy, especially now that we have places to come from and go to. Lastly, create an immortal. This is the creature that gifted or cursed your vampire with unlife. Create a mark and an experience that explains how your vampire becomes a creature of the night. One such immortal is Baron Holmbrough, an Austrian noble and a vampire. He stole the deed to my land. The corresponding experience might be I duel the eerie Baron Holmbrough across the roof of the abbey. He nearly cuts my head from my shoulders, but I do not die. Which leads to the mark, my neck is permanently broken. I wear tight scarves and walk slowly to maintain my dignity. Oh, so this is where we decide how our character becomes a vampire. So we need a new memory for how we became a vampire. The immortal we have... Immortal, the vampire that created us. This immortal is... said Lord Bentham? Bentham is my vampire sire. How did Bentham turn me into a vampire, everyone? I think it kind of needs to tie into this betrayal. I have an awesome idea. Lord Bentham took me in after an attempt on my life during battle. Presumably by Lord Brython. Lord Bentham took me in after an attempt on my life during battle. He ripped my guts out by accident. Probably intentional, you know? Marks. I have... Ooh, God damn it, formatting. I have no insides. Rocks in there? So I don't seem hollow. What would you stuff in your gut to make it seem like you've got something in there? This is going to be an unpleasant game, by the way, everyone. Unpleasant things will happen. Puppies. I'm not putting puppies in my stomach. Blankets. Hay and blankets in there so I don't seem hollow. Once you have finished creating your vampire, they will have 3 skills, 3 resources, at least 3 mortals, 1 immortal, and 1 experience in each of their 5 memories. To play 1000-year-old vampire, you answer a series of prompts. Answer these prompts to learn about your vampire, experience their travails, and be surprised by their doings. Responding to the prompts is satisfying in satisfying ways is the joy of this game. After you've played through a few times, you can find additional prompts in Appendix 1. You can answer prompts either in writing, like a journal, or just aloud to yourself. This book is designed so that you can write your responses directly onto its pages. If you are brave, number your entries to keep the chronology straight. Every time you answer a prompt, you must create an experience and add it to a memory unless otherwise instructed. Right, this is where the prompts come in. I think to show you the game, I will get rid of the flies from my room, because they're everywhere, and roll some d10s and d6s, and attempt to create a few memories and see how the game goes. Roll your d10 and d6, and subtract the result of the d6 from that of the d10. Move forwards that many prompts. If it is a negative number, move backwards instead. A 0 means you encounter the same prompt a second time. The game ends if you are unable to check or lose a skill or resource when required to do so, or if a prompt tells you that you messed up. Physical dice! I like the maths rocks that go clicky-clack. Can you hear them? What do we got? We got a 5 and a 3. So 3 minus 5 is minus 2, which takes us to 1. Prompt number 1 is, in your blood hunger, you destroy someone close to you. Kill a mortal character. Create a mortal if none are available. Take the skill, Bloodthirsty. Alright then, we are bloodthirsty. Revenge. This is revenge. and to get rid of stuff, we do a strike through, but I don't know how we do that. Text. Strike through. Alt-Shift-5? That's weird. Oh, you know what I could add here? My blood whispers secrets to me of my betrayer, Lord Brython. Take that, Lord Brython. Didn't last long, did you? Okay, more rolling. That takes us 4 to 5. Oh, god damn it. You murder someone you love or respect rather than let them expose you. Kill a character, check a skill. If you have no living characters, kill no one and create a beloved mortal character who you have betrayed. Sorry, Mum. I'm gonna check sailing. I'm just putting a dash by it. So, God, this is a bad start for everyone that knows this Gwyneth character. What was it? Control-Shift-5. No? I took my mother out to sail the seas. She loved the waves. My mother saw my chest as I was stuffing my insides, because apparently I'm like a teddy bear, and if you don't get more stuffing in there, I go floppy. I invited her to talk in the boat, and she drowned. My mother saw my insides, which weren't really there, and then I chucked her in the sea. Damn, oh god, this is going really, really badly. I've only got 2 characters left, and one of them really deserves to be dead, but he is not. Right, we're on 5. Where are we going to? Oh, we are going 8. What's 5 plus 8? 13. Here we are. Generations of the same family serve you. This line starts from any living mortal character, or from the descendants of a dead mortal character. What bizarre rituals do they tie to their servitude? Lose a resource and create a Servitors of the Lineage resource. Oh, you know what it would be cool to lose is the Roman memorabilia, because they use it in their ritual. Control-Alt-5. It's not right. Alt-Shift-5. There we go. Finally got it. And we have created Servitors of the Lineage. Okay, and I'm going to say, because the only surviving person is Johann, a bloodthirsty fighter, the Servitors of the Lineage are Johann. Johann's descendant. I gave Johann my Roman trophies in exchange for his service. It's just a fancy gladius. That would make sense. Oh, what's the word? A ritual of battle? Yeah, so I was thinking, what was the thing where you read the entrails? There's a word for that. You read the entrails of an animal before battle and before, haruspex. That's the person who does it. Johann is a messed up person. A bloodthirsty fighter. Johann ain't dead yet though, so that's a bonus. Where are we going next? 2 and 1. So we're going 1 forward. An enemy character uses a lost resource to turn your few friends against you. Check 3 skills to regain the resource, or check 1 skill to barely survive. Which former friend did you kill? So I'm gonna say the enemy character has to be Bentham. Or Lord Bentham. Alright, this one's a bit tricky because I have to check 3 skills if I want to regain the resource. I've lost the Roman memorabilia. So yeah, I'm assuming Lord Bentham used the Roman memorabilia to turn Johann against me. But I fought and killed Johann. It says, which former friend did you kill? So Johan is the former friend, right? Johan was a friend of mine. So let's put this not in here, but as part of the three-piece memory, the third piece to the memory about Johan. So I'm trying to work in battle, good at feasting, and bloodthirsty. Hang on, I know where this is going. After recovering the gladius, I feed his remains to the village in a feast to cover my crimes. Alright, I have one completed memory. Do another roll and see how far forward we go. That is 2 minus 6, which gets us to minus 4. So that's on prompt 10. The stars pinwheel above you in the night. The seasons are a blur. You are as an automaton, unconscious of the passage of decades. A century passes. Strike out a memory. Strike out all mortal characters. What memory are we striking out? What memory have we lost? Do memories have to be complete? I'm going to check the rules. All the mortals are dead already, it's fine. Yeah, it doesn't seem to say memories have to have 3 things in them, so what I'm going to do... What do I forget? I don't forget who I am. Do I forget that I killed my mother? Do I forget how I met Lord Bentham? Do I forget Johan, my fellow warrior? Or do I forget about organising a feast for Lord Brython? I think this is the most appropriate one to lose. The feast is forever forgotten. And I forget that Lord Brython was disappointed in me, and probably the person that, that's the inciting incident for his betrayal. But I still have to write an experience. There we go. I have left my home to explore the rest of the island I live on. Sleeping during the day is easiest in the woods. Time moves at a different pace here. It's peaceful. So I'm assuming the theme for this particular memory will probably be time or peace or something like that. Yeah, 200 years old at this point. What do we got? 2 minus 4. So we're going back again. 8. You are recognized for what you are by another creature like yourself. Create an immortal character, lose a resource, and gain a skill. What did you lose to them? Right. So we are creating an immortal. Oh, you know what I haven't been doing? Is adding, extra information to the characters when each time I meet them. The leader of the neighbouring tribe. I won't add stuff now because it's too late and I can't be bothered. A violent anarchist. Oh, and what do I gain from what skill do I gain from a violent anarchist? You know what? I'm British. The skill I learn is to be polite in awkward situations. I have met Sheepdog, an immortal like me, in the city of Londinium. He thinks society is too civilized and a little chaos would help everyone feel empowered. The last time I saw him, I listened politely to his ranting and didn't disagree. He stole my armor and weapons and took off into the night. Some murders were reported later that week. Okay, 5 minus 3, that's 2. That takes us back to 10. What we do here is go to the second prompt in the list, because there are 3 prompts for each number. And on 10, the 10 was the stars pinwheel above you, the seasons blur, a century passes, that one. But the second one is a potent artifact, religious or magical or technological, falls into your hands. With it, you can remake the world. What is this thing? Who seeks it? Create a mortal character, add the item as a resource. If you still have it when you achieve any game-ending result, you may rewrite the ending as you like. You must lose this item first if you lose resources in an encounter with an immortal character. Well, first off, we've got to create some characters. Studious mage, who seeks the Tesseract. Duct tape. The Holy Grail. Oh, no, that's a skill. The Holy Grail is not a skill. After destroying a church, in the remains, I find a grail. To discover what it is, I enlist the aid of a librarian called Fuzzy. She doesn't know I have it, but enthusing about artifacts with her makes us fast friends. My blood tells me that she is dangerous. I leave town the next night. And that finishes up memory 1. Let's take us to 12. New laws or social mores make it harder for you to hide amongst the populace. How are you nearly caught and destroyed? Check a skill. Create a skill. Create a mortal criminal who assists you. Oh, cool! What skill? I only have one skill, and it's politeness in awkward situations. Create a skill. Okay, checked that. Modern society demands rather more frequent washing than I expected. The socialites I join most often have noticed the smell of my stuffing. They apprehend me about it, but my politeness dissipates the awkwardness, and before long they are distracted by other topics. Modern society demands rather more frequent washing than I expected. Socialites I join most often have noticed the smell of my stuffing. They apprehend me about it, but my politeness dissipates the awkwardness, and before long they are distracted by EE, a fast-talking criminal. Time to move on. No, it's not. It's time to go back one. Okay, number 11. How do you find solace from the raging hunger within you? You may lose one checked or unchecked skill. Sailing the North Sea, a storm catches me. I hear the echoes of my mother's voice in the wind and waves, and this turmoil seems to meet my hungry blood to calm it. It's nice out here alone. I will definitely need to make a diary. That's filled as well. This one is not. Time to choose which prompt. Oh, come on! At least we go forward one. Alright. This is 12 again, that's the one where I was stinky. But we move on. The prompt is, working across generations, you change the laws of society to your advantage. How do you bend leaders to your will? What do you change? Create a resource. I have started the idea of a restoration project in the heads of this island's government. The larger forests will shelter me during the day, and ancient monuments will power my blood rituals at night. How cool does that sound? Yeah, okay, let's specify this entire thing, the monument and the forest, as one location. It's called the Grove of Mists. God damn it. Only moving forward 2. You were born into a culture much different than that in which you find yourself now. What values must you set aside to survive in this strange world? Create an appropriate contemporary skill based on your most recent memory. What new name have you recently adopted? Oh, I'm no longer Gwyneth. Okay, which of these things am I going to forget? The death of my mother, who I was. I'm creating a new name for myself. It would be appropriate if my character forgot who they were originally and only know themselves in written form. So let's move this. I learned to kill others and take what I wanted, but it is harder to hide that with police around. I don't know how modern this is going. I'm gonna go militia. Telling people what they want and living with them is much easier. And their love serves me well. Yes. This vampire is becoming more and more horrific. 10 minus 4, we're going a whole 6 ahead to 20. There is a great shift in the way society moves goods. How does this work to your advantage? Check a skill. Create a skill based on memory. Well, what skills do I have? Gaslighting and fitting into tight spaces. There is a great shift in the way society moves goods. I mean, people invent boxes, right? Accidental mum drowning skill. Okay, what memory do I have? Yeah, I could drown my mum. I'm going to base it on Johann's lineage. Embedding agents into useful groups, because I have servitors that told me useful stuff and shipped me away in boats. Servitors of the lineage Johann. I still have the servitors, yes. And I am going to make a memory about them. My servitors told me of the invention of boxes. These transport goods a great distance by sailing ships. I have taken many trips this way to the European continent. Some mortals have banded together to hunt you. Well armed and wise to your tricks, how do you defeat or evade them? Create a mortal hunter related to one of your checked skills. Check a skill. Oh dear! So what skills do we have? We've got battle, we've got good at feasting, we've got bloodthirsty, we've got politeness in awkward situations, fitting into tight spaces. I'm going to say politeness in awkward situations is where they get me. They're used to this. We've got a mortal called Edwina, because I can't spell. Today I fled my home after a Johann I embedded in a... I call them Johanns, they're my servitors. They got a name. Today I fled my home after a Johann I embedded in a vampire hunter group tipped me off. I was unable to distract their agent Edwina from my more inappropriate social acts with politeness alone. This was most flustering. Your servants are numerous, enthusiastic, and sometimes useless. Create a skill based on a memory. This is the skill you use to control them. I remember calling myself Leon. I remember fleeing. I remember Lord Bentham took me in an attempt on my life. Not blood curses, that's a bit too generic. Curses of binding. Yep. Through careful note-keeping and breeding, the lineage of Johann spans many family names, ranks, and abilities. I am proud of my children, although when they are disobedient, a hereditary fear of my cursed domination abilities is enough to convince them of their wrongs. Make it a 10. Come on. Vampire Daddy needs a new bloodline. God damn it! We're back to 14. And this is the third time I've been on 14. How does your otherness help you rise to a position of leadership in this culture? What neighbours or populations do you subjugate through war and violence? Gain a resource you took from someone who wanted nothing but peace. Sack Rome? It's been done. The Art of the French. That's not a book or anything, it's the French's art. I am a warmongering vampire with many enemies. One friend. Enemy. Friend-ish. Friend-ish. Definitely an enemy. Definitely an enemy. But I think overall, we can all see that this game is pretty damn cool for jumping off points to create characters of all sorts. Subscribe and follow and all that good stuff to see more roleplay stuff. Pardon me. Bye!